Okay. Will you guys make sure you hold your mics down? Thank you. It's easy to forget that.
Especially by sophomores.
Okay, it is 7 o'clock, so we will call to order this meeting of the Grantsville City Planning Commission. It is Tuesday, April 17th, 2026, 7 p.m. and we are at the Grantsville City Hall, 429 East Main Street in Grantsville, Utah. See, we'll do a roll call. Cameron, we'll start with you.
Cameron Moulton here. John Montgomery here.
And Sarah Moore here. We are missing our members, Jason Hill and Gary Merrill. Gary is excused and we're hoping Jason will make it in through the traffic today. And do we have anybody online? Is Chris online?
No.
Okay, well, we do have a quorum and so we'll continue with the meeting. And I'd like to invite people to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. For tonight's public hearing items, we'll follow the format of the staff presentation and on the individual items as they appear on the agenda, then we'll have a public hearing and public hearing for public comment on that item. And then the commission will bring it back for discussion and consideration or just discussion depending on the item. And we ask that during the public comment portion that we limit our comments to 3 minutes. And if you will remember to state your name when you approach the podium. Oh, this says name and address for the record. That's new, I think. Do we want their addresses or just their names?
Just their name.
First and last name, though, we would prefer because it's a public record. And then just know that the commission can consider your comments and think about them, but we cannot answer questions or engage in conversation as it would defeat the purpose of the public hearing for you, for constituents of our community to voice their opinions and thoughts on what we have before us tonight. So we'll start with agenda item number 1. This is a discussion of a proposed concept for Falcons Landing subdivision. And we'll start with the staff presentation.
So this development was approved earlier this year, or late in 2025. Sorry, I was hoping to see the dates. Initially, this came in and it was approved like this. But staff is looking at it. It would be nice to have Wild Rose extend through and eventually meet up with, could potentially meet up with North Street, but it would intersect with Ray Street, which will allow through traffic and alleviate other roads. And so while the plat, and I overlaid the road so that we could all see what it would look like with how the plat is approved. So you see how we have lot A and B. Those are lots that will have a, we call it a twin home, but essentially a duplex with a shared wall on those lots. What staff is asking for and what the developer has agreed is if we can build just detached single family lots on those 11A and 11Bs versus attached single family lots. And really that's the exchange for losing 2 lots where Wild Rose would extend through. So initially they would have 29 units that they could build on this, and this would reduce it down to 27 with us extending Wild Rose. So we're just presenting this as a concept from staff saying, does Planning Commission want this? And if we do, then we would come back with a development agreement and a true layout of what it would look like.
Okay. And would you just put on the screen the original?
Oh,
Sorry, just
I
so
was-
the public can, that's here. Yeah. So that was the original kind of master development plan that was approved. And so we're losing, well, I think lot 5 is still there. Are we just losing lot 6 or what's the other lot?
Lots 6 and 7 is what they would end up losing.
Oh.
So
'cause
this is the
7
same-
Isn't enough.
Yep, this is the same plat.
Right.
But with Wild Rose extending through, so lot 6 and 7 would be lost, here.
What,
are-
oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, why specifically are we talking about 11A and 11B instead of some of these other doubles?
I was just pointing out A and B.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
just as an
not,
example.
not, yeah,
Gotcha.
not
Okay.
specific to 11A and 11B. So anything that's A and B, so 9A, 9B.
Gotcha.
Are attached twin home layouts. And the developer is asking in exchange for Wild Rose extending through and them losing 2 lots. They would just like to be able to build detached, single family lots on those lots. So lots stay the same, or potentially grow bigger, especially on the west side. To be able to fit those in.
Did you say that the developer is here
He is online.
online?
Right now.
Okay, great.
So did they readily agree to that? I mean, that was not arm twisting.
No arm twisting. I mean, I met with them and we had great conversations, me and Bill, and it was just, this is what the city's looking at. Would you guys be interested in this?
Thank you. That is a great observation and thank you for providing the overlay. Before we have any more discussion, maybe we should open it for public comment and then.
No public comment on
Oh,
this.
there's no public comment.
This is just a discussion
Oh.
between staff, planning commission and the developer if you have any questions.
Okay. So no consideration either.
Nope, no consideration tonight. We'd have to bring that back with a development agreement and an updated layout that actually shows Wild Rose coming through.
Because this was approved in late 2025, is there a time frame that he had in mind that development would start or has it already started?
So we are reviewing the final plans right now with this layout. I've asked them to pause that so we can get some direction from planning commission. But they are almost at approval on the final layout, so they are looking for consideration shortly if that's the direction planning commission gives us.
Okay.
Is there any downside in the city doing this? I mean, we're gaining a through street. Is there anything else that's a con against the proposed change?
There's gonna be single family homes on smaller lots and I really don't see that as being a con. To the north and to the west, there are no homes in that area, so.
How much delay is it costing the developer?
It would cost them probably 3 months or so, depending on how long their engineer has to adjust the plans and,
3 months?
Yeah.
And they're okay with it?
yeah, so they're the ones that they gave me the go ahead to present this, so.
Cameron, do you have any other?
No?
Thoughts or questions? John?
That's it.
I really value the foresight of having that road go through, and I think that as you reflected in the staff notes, it will really help with the flow of traffic, reduce those bottlenecks, and we appreciate the developer bill and having open conversations with ways that his development can assist the city in meeting our end goals, where we're keeping the flow of traffic going and reducing the bottlenecks. We have quite a few of these U-shaped streets, and I never really understood them, except for I know that we have landowners that weren't willing to give up easements and such. So if we could make that a thoroughfare or thorough road, it's not thoroughfare, that'd be great. So it
Sarah,
looks, yes.
if it's all right with you, would we be able to get city council Dalton's opinion as well? Just
Absolutely.
while he's here, if you're willing to get that.
We don't need to make him wait until the council comment
I
period.
mean, no, I think it's great. I think we need, to have a through access to expand to take traffic off, Park Street that's just next to it if we can get it going all the way through. So I think it's a good compromise.
Thank you.
Great. That's awesome support. Appreciate that. Okay. I think,
We're all unsupportive.
Perfect, thank you.
can't speak for Jason or Gary, but I'm sure that they would be supportive as well. So,
Perfect, thank you.
we will close out that item then. So we'll close out sorry, and move on to agenda item 2, which is the presentation, discussion and consideration of the proposed conditional use permit for Patsy Perry to own and operate B&P Firearms and So Much More LLC, a home-based business involving firearm transfers and related services, which will be located at 176 South Hell Street in the R-1-21 zone.
Perfect, thank
So
you.
we'll begin with the staff presentation and then move on to public comment.
So this applicant is requesting approval to operate a home occupational in the R-121 zoning. This does require planning commission's approval because customers will come to the house. Their business activities include firearm transfers, background check, and limited gunsmithing and occasional crafting. And then this would be located in the basement with the office within the home. Storage firearms will be boxed and secured and then solely operated by the homeowners. And then Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. And we've looked at the parking in the site plan. There's not an issue there, but because of the sensitive matter of it, reflecting with the sales of guns and the home occupation where customers are coming to the house, we did send it to planning commission. The business shall comply with all federal and state local laws, including firearm regulations. I've actually had them call me and ask if this was allowed in our code, and a home occupation is allowed in our code. And I asked ATF if, do you guys allow gun sales at the house? And they do allow that. So, and so we've listed conditions, no other employees shall work there, firearms shall be secured, and then they shall not create excessive traffic. So you have the home, you have customer parking with the garage, and then personal parking.
They have 170 feet. Oh. Wait to ask that.
170 feet of the frontage. Yeah. I appreciate you listing the possible conditional or conditions that would be considered with the conditional use permits. And I know that this was posted online, so I think that if we open the public hearing now and invite people to come up and offer their thoughts, then we can come back for a discussion.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you, Shelby. So we'll open the public hearing for agenda item 2, the conditional use permit for Patsy Perry to own and operate B&P Firearms and So Much More LLC as a home-based business involving firearm transfers and related sales located at 176 South Hell Street in the R-121 zone. Is there anybody that would like to offer comment on this item? If you'd approach the podium. Do we have anybody online?
Do you want to ask them to raise their hand?
Oh, sure. If there's somebody online that would like to offer comment on agenda item number 2, please raise your hand online so we can allow you to talk. Okay, you don't see any hand raising with our participants online. And so seeing no further public comment, We'll close the public hearing and bring this item back to the commission for discussion and consideration.
I do want to point out that we did receive one public comment online that was sent to the commissioners.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. I did see that. Did you say that the applicants are here today?
Yes, so the readers are.
Oh, okay. Do the commission members have any questions for the applicants?
What's the so much more?
Would you state your name, please?
Patsy Perry.
Thank you.
The so much more is because of the crafts.
Oh,
So it's, I wanted to include it all together.
you sell ammunition too? Here, will you sell ammunition?
That's not the initial intent.
There's certain storage and requirements in ammunition as well, so for the moment, or are you saying you won't be selling ammunition?
We can,
It'll be, if we did, it'd be by order basis, so it'd be picked up a day it was delivered.
Not storage,
That,
inventory?
yeah, no, not
storage.
Inventory,
No.
we can make that a condition if we wanted.
As I was saying, ammo can be shipped straight to a customer's house. They don't have to do paperwork or anything for ammo, so that wouldn't even have to, it could just go straight to them.
I mean, I think you could do sell, but not have a storage and inventory.
Yeah, no. No, I'm not even, honestly, not even planning on storing like really firearms. It's basically, if they come to us, they want to order it for them, get it sent in. When it comes in, they come down, do their paperwork and retrieve it.
So
I mean, we do have safes in case they can't come like
Sure.
right then, but yeah, no.
So isn't there what's the frontage requirement for these? Wasn't it one?
So they came in before the amendment to the home occupation.
So that's. Doesn't sound like there'll be a lot of customers.
No, we honestly are figuring maybe, what, 1 to a month?
Where's that number coming from? How are you estimating or projecting
Because
that?
we're not doing a website, we're not doing online, it's basically word of mouth. And then if they want to talk to us, they call us on the phone or just call, I don't want people just randomly showing up at the house, so it's call, pretty much make an appointment to come by the house.
No, I get, oh, sorry, you keep going.
No, just what is the new requirement is 120 or 170 feet front?
Can I look and get back to you?
It's in a 300-page document.
But it looks like they can determine the parking in their driveway also, so they.
Yeah, I just, if it's the and more in the crafts, just know that the ordinance now has a larger frontage requirement than that you have. So we want to be sensitive to the parking if maybe it's not going to be for the ammunition, but for the crafts and so forth.
Yeah, and that would still be based also on them calling and making an appointment. Like if they want some, like if they want a t-shirt made, they can email me or talk to me and tell me what they want. I'll do it once it's ready. They can come pick it up.
So she's measuring right now 69 feet and the requirement is
It's 100 feet. So
100.
if they were to have applied before the new amendments went into effect, they wouldn't meet the regulations for home occupational use.
So just know that you're slipping in under the grandfather kind of thing as your application time. So I just encourage you to be sensitive to that.
Yes.
To your neighbors.
So how do you market the opportunity for people to come and shop with you?
Honestly, word of mouth.
Where is it? Okay.
Yep.
I know, I think the city's been a little bit more sensitive to those signs that are stuck in the ground in random places with the metal holders and stuff.
Oh, I don't wanna
Trying
have to-
Reduce that type of clutter, right?
I was gonna say, I don't wanna have to keep moving those to mow my lawn, so no.
No, they can hang flyers at, you know, the local stores and,
Yep.
and things like that.
Flyers is good. Hang up opportunities at Macy's, which I love. I actually have no concerns with this and, I admire your, ingenuity and your,
Entrepreneurship.
yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
the word that I was looking for. Thank you, John. And it's hard to source guns, I know. Unless you know what you're looking for, that, and you know how to get it, that
Mm.
somebody could probably use some help in sourcing what they're looking for, so. Is there any more questions or comments for Patty?
No, I just hope I mean, this says 3 to 4 customers per month, but I hope just for the sake of making money that you have more customers than 3 to 4 a month.
Well, and if I was out to make money, I hope so too, but I mean, prices have gone up and, I mean, people can't always go to somewhere and get exactly what they're wanting, so if I can help them do that, then.
Okay.
Okay, Patty, thank you.
Yeah, thank-
We'll consider a motion. Somebody would like to make a motion?
I mean, I think the condition of ammo storage, I think that's worthwhile, especially reading the one public comment that came in. I think just to protect that it doesn't end up, even though that's not the intention, that there ended up being hundreds of pounds of, even though a private residence easily has that much, but.
In Grantsville.
Yeah, right, but it's just the thought that at least we're putting that in there as part of this, that the intention right now and the proposal is not to sell ammunition, that we limit some storage there. Would make me feel better on, at least
I think,
neighbors thinking about
I think I would just say not storage of inventory for sale ammunition,
it. Okay,
because they have their own personal and so forth.
you're assuming that it.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So for retail purposes, so no storage or inventory of ammunition for retail purposes?
Just say no storage of inventory for retail sales.
Yeah.
But of ammunition specifically, because the guns, yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless of popular belief, guns don't actually go off by themselves in a case, so.
Thank you.
I have no problem with
clarifying
that,
Okay.
What?
No way.
Give you some.
So do you want to make a motion, Cameron?
Yeah, so do I need to list all these conditions now that we added that one, or? just
No,
say-
so in your motion, you know, you'll make your recommendation with the conditions listed in the staff report
Okay.
and the addition of the condition.
Okay. I move to recommend approval of the proposed conditional use permit for Patsy Perry to own and operate B&P Firearms and So Much More LLC located at 176 South Hale Street in the R121 zone with the modifications noted in the staff report, as well as no stored inventory for retail sale of ammunition.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
you second.
She usually
That's
asks.
That was a question or you were doing it?
okay. Any further discussion then?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so that passes with the quorum that's represented here. And we will close item number 2. And we will move on to item number 3, presentation, public hearing, discussion and consideration of a proposed conditional use permit for Cody Johnson to establish an accessory farm employee housing on the property located at 8 I'm sorry.
So it's actually 592 East Main. I did make an error in the staff report, but I do have the radius report that shows we used the
Yeah, that's
correct
from the last
address.
meeting.
So it's 592 East Main.
592 East Main, as
So
shown
my
on the site
dyslexia
plan.
didn't really completely destroy that. Okay, Cody Johnson to establish accessory farm employee housing on the property located at 592 East Main in the A10 zone. We'll
Correct.
begin with the staff presentation for agenda item 3.
So yes, I made an error on the address. The applicant lives on Durfee Street, but his property is on Main as well. So I do apologize for that. A accessory farm employee housing is conditional in the agricultural zones so long as they have contiguous property of 10 acres, which with the surrounding properties that this applicant owns that they meet that 10-acre requirement. So it's a use for an accessory farm employee housing or a detached ADU. It's approximately a 30 by 40 housing style with 2 levels. There's plenty of parking on site. The initial parcel is 3.5 acres, but again, with the contiguous parcels surrounding it, there's like 30 acres. So there's plenty. As you can see here, they are approximately 431 feet from the fire hydrant. There's plenty of parking, but we noted 5 stalls. The ranch housing is here, while this remains a agricultural shop here. One of the concerns that we had is far as water dedication in the ADU requirements, they are required to dedicate 0.218 acre feet of water. And that's something that was determined that, you know, staff can't waive. That is what our requirement and what we're allotting for this property. Where's my little scroll button? And so, I mean, other than that, there are no other issues, concerns. You'll see here, there is a note that says it doesn't meet the maximum distance from the fire hydrant, but after further consulting with the fire marshal, they actually do meet that, but the staff report was posted before that was resolved, so.
We're using a metric tape measure.
Yeah.
Well, the structure's already there anyway.
Correct, yep, the structure is here, and then the ranch house is there, so.
So we're just converting that lower portion of the storage?
Yep, just converting that agricultural shop, that portion of it, into a ADU for the ranch hand to live on. It is a 2-level, so you have your floor level, and then you do have an upstairs.
How many occupants could be in the?
So with the farm employee housing, in our conditional, our conditions, we are asking that no more than 1 livable bedroom or family is in there, and then all other rooms shall remain storage, because there are other rooms that could be converted.
So it's not a bunkhouse, it's a single family.
Correct.
But, okay,
And all that acreage to the south, that's theirs, all the fields there.
Correct. So here's the parcel here. And then they have acreage here, and then these surrounding this field here, so.
so that was just noted 1 livable bedroom. I lived in Bulgaria for a couple of years and I saw 15 people living in 1 bedroom. Is it important to note?
I don't think
Should
Cody
we-
would. Oh, there you are. Say, I watched.
No, it's not important, no, it's a single family, well, yeah, it's a one bedroom.
So something like this, or we can ask you questions at this point, right?
Yeah, you guys.
Okay,
can
I'm just not sure if that's for our discussion. So he obviously is doing this the right way.
We're a little backwards, but we're getting there.
Did he get caught?
No, he tattletailed on himself, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
That's
he
what I'm just
did.
wondering, because this kind of thing could be done all over town and nobody knows about it, right? And so this is just.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So he initially had an agricultural building and then wanted to build the ADU in there, and then so he pulled a building permit, and which kicked off the site plan review.
And they came and saw it?
Who came and saw it?
Somebody came and saw it?
Yeah, so building as well as me and
And they saw
Bill.
that someone was living there?
No,
No,
nobody
I
is
was
living
okay.
there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just more curious than anything, like,
Yeah.
it's good people do stuff the right way. It's just, I'm just curious because I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's-
this is just happening everywhere.
It's still under construction.
Yeah.
Or was when we visited it, so.
Okay, that's great.
So the water is coming from where?
So it is connected to city water, but they are attached. So they don't have separate utilities. They are attached to the water line from this house here.
And there's a toilet and everything?
Couple of toilets.
Yeah, 2 toilets, 2 kitchens.
But this isn't the applicant's residence. This house is,
He owns the property. The house is a rental for a farm.
It's not a rental, the people I bought the house from, the lady gets to live there until she passes,
oh,
and so she's still occupying the house.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You're
Would you
okay.
mind just coming up and stating your name for the record? I forgot to ask you before we opened up conversations with
Sorry.
him. No, that's okay.
Cody Johnson,
Hi,
the
Cody.
landowner.
Okay, thank you.
So-
So,
He lives right here to answer your question.
okay.
Yeah.
Almost
And
on a
what
rock.
is the building that is to the south of the proposed agricultural farm worker?
That building,
Yes,
just a shop.
so there's no residents.
No, just the only residence to the north, and it's one elderly lady that lives in there.
And then what do you have plans for that after she
If-
passes?
May rotate a different ranch hand into that house, but
Okay.
yeah. We're not up for rentals, we're not up for moving in, these are just, cause you know, we have heifers and everything right there, and so them being on site is important.
I'm familiar with your property. Okay, do we have questions for Cody or should we open it for public comment? Public comment? Okay, Cody, if you don't mind, we'll ask you to sit down.
Okay.
Shelby, thank you. We'll go ahead and open this item for public comment. Then we'll bring it back for discussion. So we'll open the public hearing for agenda item number 3, the consideration of the proposed conditional use permit for Cody Johnson to establish accessory farm employee housing on the property located at 592 East Main Street in the A10 zone. If there's anybody here that would like to offer comment for consideration, please approach the podium. State your name. Okay, if we have anybody online, would you please raise your hand if you'd like to offer comment on agenda item number 3?
Nothing.
Okay, well, thank you for that opportunity. We will close the public hearing and we'll bring this back to the commission for discussion and consideration.
I've supported, don't really have any questions, seems like a reasonable thing to do.
Okay,
Yeah, no concerns, no questions for me.
okay. We will entertain a motion then on agenda item 3.
Okay, I move to recommend approval of the proposed consideration of a proposed conditional use permit for Cody Johnson to establish accessory farm employee housing on the property located
592.
592 Main Street in the A10, so.
Yes. We don't have any recommendations for any conditions on the conditional use permit, correct? Okay, so you have a second?
A second, unless that was you seconding.
I was
A
asking,
second.
I'll try to keep it consistent, but I apologize. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes unanimously. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you.
Close item number 3, and we will move on to item number 4, which is the presentation, public hearing, discussion and consideration of the proposed master development agreement for Mac Canyon subdivision located approximately near Mac Canyon Road and SR 138. We will start with the staff presentation and Shelby, thank you for your time on this again.
Yeah, thank you guys. So at our last meeting, this was presented as a discussion to kind of get feedback from planning commission. As well as this is a bigger agenda item, and so we were following direction. This is a development proposed, or it consists of 114 acres that includes up to 170 residential lots. This was initially presented to city council as a planned unit development, the PUD concept. Following the review and proposal and comparison of the city's zonings, staff determined the project generally complies with the development standards of the R112 zoning district. As a result, the developer and staff determined that rezoning to R112 paired with the master development agreement would be more of an appropriate approach than processing the project as a PUD. And the reason for that is that this project, the developer is providing everything to the city that we would require in a PUD application in exchange for the rezone. And so they are tied to this site plan, these lot sizes. They can't go any smaller. They can't ask for extra density. They are tied to this site plan. So we have 1/2 acre lots here. We have some larger lots throughout this, and they are meeting the road cross section standard as well as commercial in this corner here. And so and open space that is built out and not just raw land. So we are getting not just a piece of our pie, we're getting the whole cake too in exchange for rezone. And this MDA outlines that if the developer doesn't follow what's in this MDA, what's on this concept, that this will automatically revert back to the R121 zoning. And so the developer is giving everything that the city has asked for on this development. Okay, I'll zoom back
Fantastic.
in on this. So you can,
It'll come back to for a discussion on commercial zoning district in a later phase. But what we have now is all the phases together, or is this just phase one?
so that's all, that's showing your phasing, your layout of the entire development
Okay.
with the open space, the commercial, the acreage. It's showing everything with the lot sizes. And then exhibit D is just stating that approval of this agreement will allow for the rezone from R121 to R112. In the event that the developer doesn't follow this, it may be revoked in whole or in part and automatically revert to the R121 zoning designation in breach of this agreement. And then the developer shall submit a rezone portion for the commercial in phase 2. And then we break out bonding and when they need to build out the commercial, the collector road, amenities. I mean, the whole 9 yards.
But we would be approving the whole master plan.
Yep.
So the alternative to this is just, that would be packed with 1/2 acre lots. It was is the ultimate.
The underlying zoning is 1/2 acre lots. So yes, you guys could recommend this for denial and it ultimately could stay 1/2 acre lots. He could apply for a PUD application and overlay it with this layout that we're presenting. And then, you know, kind of turn it into a science experiment and ask for a bunch of deviations. But staff thought this would be the easiest way while we're still getting everything that the PUD allows us to obtain.
Okay.
And the average lot size is
Um,
quarter acre.
Yeah, 1/4 acre lots.
Who would be responsible for maintaining the amenities after they're,
They would
Mhm.
dedicate it's over 10 acres to the city.
and then the
So-
city would maintain them? and-
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Become a city park.
So then they wouldn't fall into disrepair in theory,
Correct.
unless they're Hollywood Park.
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, too soon.
I don't know Hollywood Park.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that if we have preliminary questions answered, we'll open this item for a public hearing. Correct. Invite Shelby to take a seat and so if we open this and invite people to speak, then we can bring it back for further discussion with the developer. Okay. We'll open this for a public hearing for agenda item number 4, consideration of the proposed master development agreement from Matt Canyon subdivision located approximately near Matt Canyon Road and SR 138. If there's folks here that would like to offer public comment on this, please state your name when you come to the podium. No need to.
Hi, I'm Julie Mackley.
Hi, Julie.
I did write a letter for agendas number 5 and 6, so I'm not sure why we're talking about a master plan first before the zoning and the general plan change, but I guess my question is, does you guys approving the master plan just roll into approving everything else along? Or should we talk about my problems with number 5 and 6, I guess,
You could bring up 5 and 6 here.
here with this one?
Yes.
Okay, so I did get a text from, I guess I'll state her name, Brenda Peterson. She said that she would like to, let me just read her text first. That's okay.
Now, are you a neighbor? Are you the?
I am a neighbor. So my piece of property sits right behind this open space that has actually been used on at least 3 other developments. So this little section right here has been used for property in this development. It was used for property in this development. I live right here. And now it's being used for this development. So in 2020, it was asked to be changed so that I would have 4 houses behind my property. And now it's open space, so that's a little bit better than 4 houses right there behind my house. But anyway, Brenda Peterson lives. Do you want me to point out where she lives?
No, it's okay.
So she lives in the neighborhood too. So she says, I will not be able to be to the meeting tonight. Please put our vote against this. I don't understand how a few years back they zoned everything over there for half-acre lots. And ever since then, they have been trying to change it. So that's what her comment is. My concern, other than my letter, is that if we give this development the okay, this proposed ensign below it, he's going to say the same thing he said with this one. The lots next to us are small lots. So let me just have small lots on this one. Yes, he's giving us a lot of little extra fluff, but we already have a whole bunch of these in the city. And we don't have very many areas left that are half-acre lots all the way up to the mountains. So we're concerned that it sets precedence to keep making smaller and smaller. Beautiful ideas, but not what we moved there for, to be around our rural neighbors. So that's, besides my letter, that's what I would like to state tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
So my name is Joseph Kempe. I'm in that big block in the middle of all of this development. And this was way different than what we had talked about a year ago. Was it about a year ago? So this is a lot to process in a really short period of time, and I don't know what to think about it. I am getting frustrated a little bit with all the changes that we seem to do. And for those soccer fields, like you seem to insinuate, that there's a lot of maintenance that goes on with that, and they're not that hard to build, but they're hard to maintain. And I just don't know what the whole plan is. We had a plan, like going with Julie was saying, is we had a plan. I want to know what we're doing with all these plans. I'm just really concerned that there's a lot of gimmies to developers and a lot of takeaways from the people who live around these places. I've been to Daybreak, and the apartment complex or the townhouse is just to the south of me. There's a lot of traffic in Daybreak. I don't want this little town become like daybreak, where we're all congested and living right on top of each other when we've got space here. That's my concern, and I just don't know what to think about this at this point, so. What we're gonna do with it, so those are my comments.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph.
Angela and Kempy. Joseph's my husband, and of course, we live right in the middle of that. I don't know if you want me to point it out, but we're just right in the middle. We have horse property. Very concerned about the animal. People that are in these houses, they did put the half-acre lots, but their fences are right up next to our horses. Horses have flies. They're not used to that. I'm worried about complaints. I'm worried. We do have, at least on the north of us, there'd be the detention basin, but still I'm worried about those houses right up next to our horse property. It's all horse property. So very concerned about that, very concerned about traffic. My kids go out there and play and ride, and that's a lot of people. That's just a whole lot of people. That's a whole lot of cars coming in up and down our road. And if they put a gas station there or whatever, then it's just gonna be a tremendous amount of traffic. Very concerned about that. Paul's been working with us. He's been great, trying to help us get this through, but I also have the concerns of my husband, how is this going forward? I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure north of Matt Canyon is going just a whole bunch of families, whole bunch of houses, and I'm just like, we're just adding to more and more and more. So I'm very concerned about that. So those are my comments.
Thank you, Angela. Is there anybody? Okay, fantastic.
Sorry.
Nope, you are good.
Brian Sadler, I'm not a neighbor, but I moved here not too long ago for the half-acre lots, so I can appreciate that. All due respect, still want to point out that the developer did keep the number of units the same, which is helpful for the traffic congestion. The reason I'm here today, let's teach that little kid there, how this stuff all works, so. But I would bring up the gas station part of it, and I know that the developer, I'm sorry, name? Paul. Had brought up the concern about actually developing that, and the desire to develop it, in the time constraints that we have. And I'm all in favor of abolishing that commercial segment part of it, to at least keep the feel of the neighborhoods intact. And then the other thing that I wanted to bring up, which I know we can't ask questions per se, but when we take on the property as a city, do we take in consideration the maintenance costs that puts on the city in terms of a burden? And does that really end up being a net positive with the tax allocation we get out of the development? So I'm not really against it. But I did move here because of the half-acre lots. That's why I moved to Grantsville. So I would definitely like to see that continue on. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Is there anybody else that would like to share their thoughts? Is there anybody online? If you're online and would like to speak on agenda item 4, please raise your hand. Okay, so close the public hearing and we will bring this back for commission's discussion and consideration.
Hi.
John Cameron, who would like to go first?
Well, I was a little vocal about this last time, but I think it is important to note as to the traffic that this developer has agreed to have the same number of, so it'd be the same number of cars if you had half-acre, these smaller ones. So I can appreciate, that concern. I'm actually looking at purchasing a home up in this area, and I'll have to admit that half-acre lot, you're not on top of each other as much, but there is the half-acre section, and there's the other words, it's closer. What I've seen as I've driven up in that area is there's no irrigation water, so the back end of those lots are either full of RVs or just dirt and weeds. And so there's space there, but it's, I'm really concerned about just the half-acre lots just not being utilized. They're basically open space. It's nice, but it's not like we have water to water anything there. And so must rather see just the native, plants that remained, or I guess maybe that's what will come back. I don't know, but it's just not. That's what this idea and concept was about, was to still have some half-acre and have that option, but also just provide a more manageable area and not have any more traffic. The parks, I live over in Scenic Slopes, and they've got a grant, that park's underway. It's beautiful and wonderful. But only phase 1 is being done right now until another grant is obtained. I assume that grants would have to be obtained to even put in these fields, probably, right?
No, because the developer would be constructing them, but
He'll actually bear the cost of.
yes.
Oh, yeah. So that's a big plus right there. And anyway, it appears the developer's trying to do what's best for part of the area and do what's best for kind of a compromise in my mind, and keep the traffic the same. So the rezone, though, question for you, we have does the city council have to also approve the rezone?
Yeah, they'll have to approve the MDA, the rezone, and the general plan
Yeah, so we'll
amendment.
just be recommending to the
Correct.
city council.
Correct.
Positive recommendation or negative. Anyway, those are my thoughts.
That's great. Thank you, Cameron.
Can Paul come up?
Yeah, he's right there.
So I just want to kind of spitball, because this came up in our last meeting as well, the problem with that gas station, right? Let's say it was removed from this, the requirement, that commercial piece, what would then go in there, hypothetically speaking?
Well, if it was taken out, there'd either be some sort of mini warehouses, or there would be something. With Matt Canyon Road, you can see it being put in there. That will be one of the 5 premier intersections with a light in the whole city. It'll be very similar to what we see with the Maverick down here.
Yeah.
There is I know this really bothers people, but there's probably, right now, there's scheduled to be over 10,000 homes up on that hill eventually.
Mm-hmm.
That won't be for 15, 20 years.
30.
So. But the only reason why right now is because, like I said before, you couldn't give away that land to a gas station right now. If it had to be built in the next 5 years, they'd be just throwing money away.
Now, does the 112 allow for commercial?
SR 138 or R112.
Okay, so the commercial it's not a rezone for the commercial.
No, correct.
No,
So
right.
on phase 2 is when he would have to come in and rezone the commercial.
Yeah.
That way we have the meets and bounds and a platted area of the commercial.
Right.
And so we didn't want to do
We
that.
could always put just homes in there.
Sure.
We'd make, trust me, when you can't give away a piece of land, but the
Yeah.
city asked us to put that in there, so we put it in.
I'm just saying, the master plan doesn't mean there's gonna be commercial necessarily, the concerns that.
No, it does. So in the MDA and the master plan, it outlines that there's 2.38 acres, I believe, or 2.78 acres of commercial. And so, I mean, if we're at the point where he's at building permit 150 and he can't build that commercial out, then he can come back with the development agreement, okay, city, what do you guys want to do with that? Because we don't have enough rooftops to sell this commercial property.
Who's pushing the commercial?
City.
Staff,
City.
yes, the city and staff, because I mean, that's
That's
a
a lot of
main
money.
corridor.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
money for the city.
It's tough.
Personally, I would rather not do it. I'd rather put houses in, but they asked me to do it, and I really have tried to become very
Uh-oh, Bill's standing up.
Trouble now.
I'm
Ask the
sorry
wrong
to
question.
interrupt.
No.
The question
Real
that
estate.
planners often ask is, what is the highest and best use of the land? And having homes that either front onto or back onto this busy road is maybe not the best location for single-family detached or for any residential, really. And it's only, the traffic on the road is only going to get more intense. And a gas station or a commercial use on that property is probably a better use as far as a separation from the roadway itself and putting it into something that's a higher and better use or a more productive use of the land is optimal, just from a planning standpoint and from a best practices standpoint. So when Shelby says that, we as staff and as the city are looking for a mix of uses on the property, this covers that. And having a development agreement locks us into making sure that he gets the entitlements that he needs so that the project pencils, but also gives us a mix of uses and a diversity of land uses on the property that are beneficial for the city in general. So
it makes sense. I mean, it costs the city money to have homes. They need to have a revenue source somewhere.
well, and these parks too are going to be expensive to maintain, as was pointed out. I wanted to point out there was a question about too much land dedicated as park land in the city. And I don't know the exact numbers. Christy would have that, but the general rule of thumb is that you like to have about 10 acres of park open space for every 1,000 residents. Right now, if we're at about 15,000 residents, we need about 150 acres of park open space, dedicated open space. We're not anywhere close to that. And so.
Yeah, the counter to that though is the mountains are right there too, right?
Well,
Yeah, so
and
it's a
that's
little bit
always-
different here.
That's always the counter, but
Yeah.
you can't play soccer out in a sage
Watch me,
flat.
Bill.
Well, you can. The rest of us mortals have a little bit more difficult time. And you know, there are different activities that people can do in the mountains that you can't do in
For sure.
a more formal open space and vice versa. We would want a mix of things. And actually this is well represented in this
Just
development.
watching that.
He's got trails indicated here. He's got more natural open space, but also more formal open space that's programmable for athletic events and activities that way. So
I guess part of what I was getting at is when 138 went in, this property along 138 was probably going to be commercial. I mean, it's not
Sure.
like this is a surprise. I mean, it's the comment, I'd like to see the commercial gone, but commercial is probably inevitable.
Yeah. And again, is it the highest and best use of the land? And staff feels like it is, but that's a determination for you all to make as well in your recommendation. You've heard from the public, they have concerns. The developer has concerns, staff has concerns, but again, the question is, what is the best and highest use of the land? And that's for you guys to determine. So.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, there's just a comment too is, again, as we learned in our last week, we can consider and we do want to hear the public comment and would impact our recommendation to the city council, the legislative part of the government here to decide to zone or not rezone. This isn't strictly just a decision on existing, use and so forth so we're listening to you to make a recommendation to the city. And so you have feelings and so do we, we're going to express them to the city.
We appreciate that. So a question I have, so first of all, 11 years ago, I moved away from my house. I feel for the neighbors. I had a 150 acre field next to my home. I recame and built houses taller than my house. I couldn't even see the mountains anymore. So when we moved out here, so I feel for the neighbors and I understand that, but the developer has this property, you own it, it's going to be developed. So my question is there data or do you have access to the data that shows whether this was the same number of half acre lots.
Yes.
It is, well, as I'm saying, does that change? Is there a difference in having it this way with smaller lots and the number of residents and
Well,
cars versus
To
the
be
half
honest
acre?
with you, we're really close right now to saying, we'll just go to half acre lots. And what that'll mean is there will be no more ball fields, there will be more, I mean, there won't be any more traffic.
That's what I'm wondering though. Is there a difference in traffic between having 70, I don't know what the number is, right? 70 half acre lots and 70 quarter acre lots? Is there a difference in traffic
don't know.
documented?
No.
No.
There's no
No,
difference.
okay.
I can't
It
see how
only
that would.
gets, it goes down a little bit when you do higher density, which
Of course.
sounds a little bit, but it's car trips per day, per unit. And if you get to duplexes, it goes down to about 8, and much higher density like apartments, you're looking at 5 or 6.
So I guess what the crux of my question is do we see more multi-families living in a bigger home on a bigger lot? Or do you have multiple families living in smaller because of the economic situation of being able to afford a smaller home? So maybe you get 2 families in there instead of one is, I guess what I'm wondering if there was data.
One of the developers have come to us that on every single lot, when we were doing half acres, they would build a secondary unit like the state lets them do. So there'd be a duplex on every single lot.
It's possible under the.
But they'd have to come and talk to us.
Well,
Yes.
actually, yeah, they would, but you can't say no.
They have a right to it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I think that's my only question is just understanding that there's going to be development here. And really the number of cars isn't going to be affected on whether we rezone or not.
No.
I guess is what I was trying to get at. Whether there was empirical data that shifted it one way or another. Okay.
And what I'm
All right.
deducing is, there's not evidence to say there would be more traffic. Whether you had a half acre or.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
But I'm sure, once that area is built out, there'll be a new traffic study. We just had one done. So Paul, thank you
Actually,
for
we
coming
have
back.
a traffic study ready to go for this, so.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That
so
is
each
But the
great.
traffic's inevitable too if you put houses on it, whether they're half acre.
Yeah, that's what I was
It
trying
is.
to understand. Just make sure there wasn't a difference.
So I just want to say, I feel like I say this at every meeting. He does own that. He has plans to develop it. Like Cameron said, somebody is going to develop it if it's not Paul. Interestingly enough, the city does have a plan, a projection for what the city might look like in 30 years. And I believe that the city has put forth the expectations and the hopefulness that the developments that do come in will provide some open space, will provide the detention basins, and will also provide some commercial. And the commercial does a lot actually to sustain city revenue. And we have several developments that have already been approved that we've required a little bit of commercial. And that's a given that the developers give us in hopes that we can support small businesses and larger businesses. And honestly, one of my fondest memories growing up in Brigham was, riding my bike down the street to the gas station. Probably the only gas station on that side of town. And I can tell you, that side of town needs a gas station. My husband leaves and drives out to Clive every day. And if he doesn't get gas at the corner store down by our subdivision, he's just kind of SOL. There's a rest stop that has a gas station in between here and Clive, but it would really benefit the city and the traffic and the homeowners to have an opportunity for a gas station down there. And plus competition for gas stations will keep our gas lower. And I think, to rob kids of the opportunity to ride their bikes down to the gas station and get, candy's not a nickel anymore, but you can all remember when candy was a nickel. They need to learn that they need to watch for traffic, and that's just part of growing up. So I want to also say, as John has mentioned, quarter acre lots are easier to take care of. They're easier to landscape, but it gives our city an opportunity, I feel like, to have younger families come in, be able to own a home. When we moved here 21 years ago, we didn't think that we'd be here for 20 years, honestly. And my husband says it's getting too big and we need to move, but we're not moving for quite a long time still. And, but I think for families to have an opportunity to buy a smaller home in a smaller lot, have it be more affordable and raise little kids to be big kids that will stay here in the city and love our city as we have. I don't know if we could fault the developer for providing an opportunity for folks to do that. And, you know, as our neighborhood has grown, there was a huge shop built behind my house and I was so mad because it blocked my view. But after a couple of years, you don't even notice it. And this development isn't going to go in tomorrow and it's not going to be complete in 5 years. You know, you'll have time to adjust, and we do have ordinances that buildings are built far enough away from horse pastures that it's not causing a nuisance to our new homeowners. And so I know, I live near horses and I get I've already gotten horse flies this year. I've had 2 of them in my house. And they drive me crazy, but that's kind of what I signed up for. And the developer, Paul, please make sure that your realtors are not advertising the smaller lots as horse property, because we do.
Well, actually, the zoning
Right.
for R21 allows some of that,
Yeah.
but we don't want horses there except for the Kempis. Like, they're beautiful horses and we really love them. And that's why we put half-acre lots all around their house, because the city asked us to do that. And so that's why we did it.
I have another question, the developer. What is the price point on a home difference on a 1/4 acre lot and a half-acre lot?
We figure it's about $10,000 a lot. The problem right now, and I don't.
I'm just saying the price point of the final home. How
Oh,
much difference is the price?
Well,
point?
it really depends on what you build on the home.
I agreed, but just typically.
The lot prices are very similar, if not the same.
Yeah, my kiddo just bought a home, 1/4 acre, and it was still for $180,000. So hopefully those prices will come down a little bit, but
Paul's like that.
you know, that's compared to a $600,000 home on a half-acre lot, or even more expensive than that.
Yeah, I'm seeing most of the homes on the half-acre lot seem to be north of 600,000.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
They're bigger homes.
So as far as affordability, that we need to be conscious of that too.
Well, and
And the city
you
has
know, yeah, it depends on the person who buys it.
Right.
These will be, you know, taking most of the private areas, except for the smaller playgrounds, is all done by the homeowners. Okay, except for the soccer fields, and everything else is pretty much done by the homeowners and the jogging trail.
2,000 square foot home is not as odd on a 1/4 acre lot than it is on a half-acre.
If you go out and you look at what just was been built out there on the land that actually I sold earlier and now the other coming in, there are 4 homes there that are smaller than most of the 8,000 square foot lots that are just to the east of it. In other words, you can put whatever you want on it.
Sure.
And so they just put a very small home on a big lot. That's okay. Hey, that's great. That's what the world's all about.
Okay.
It's conducive to owning horses, maybe, but you know, it is his land and he has an opportunity to do with it what he can within the constraints of our guides, our codes, our regulations. So I don't feel like this master development plan goes against what our long-term plan is as a city, or a reasonable projection for what the development is. Derek, I don't know. I know that you've been involved in these discussions for a long time. Do you want to offer anything?
I'll save most of my comments for when it gets to city council, but my only concern is the way that this is written. If we give him a rezone for 112, but if he doesn't complete it, then it reverts back to 121. Half-acre lots. I feel like that kind of puts us in limbo. Say he's built 100 homes, and that goes back to half-acre lots, and we've got all these smaller lots out there. It's going to do a couple things. A real estate agent could say, "Hey, this is a half-acre. This is an R121. Let's advertise horse property," you know, even though they're not. So you get in this limbo. What's permitted? What is the actual zoning? What, you know, can you have home occupation? How many animals can you have? I mean, you get into a whole limbo of things, because if this project doesn't get finished, it reverts back to the old zoning when we've already built, say, 100 homes, and they were supposed to be in 112 when it got completed. It's like, I don't feel like this is the best way to do it. That's just my thoughts. I like the PUD process better. But that's just my 2 cents on it, so.
I
So the
appreciate that.
PUD would be an advantage because what would it?
So it's an overlay district, so the zoning's still under it, but then, you know, we negotiate on the lot sizes and stuff like that, which would ultimately take jurisdiction, right, on the.
But I'm just thinking
on
of
the property.
compliant and non-compliance how would we be better with the PUD and non-compliance than how it's being proposed?
Cause it wouldn't revert back. It would have, that property would have a PUD with it. I mean, I guess this has an NDA. I just don't like the reverting part of it.
Yeah.
That's, but, I mean, staff's evaluated it. I think that's the best, but
I don't think Paul wants to come back here.
Do you want me to come up with it?
If you have something to
Yes,
respond
voice-
to. you're welcome
Again,
to.
it goes back to, we've done everything the city asked us to do.
Mhm.
We built the same amount of homes, we did everything else. We believe that the city needs more parks. Right now you have a total of 400 yards of trails, and that's included next to highways in the city. You have another 2 miles here for walking and for jogging. What we're gambling on is that we're adding a lot of amenities to this. Not only for our benefit, but I would rather have a ball field behind my house than have to take care of the yard myself. So that's kind of what we did. And so if you say no, we're fine. Just tell me no and we'll go back to half-acre lots and everyone will be happy. But we really think this is a better idea.
Did you ever consider the PUD process?
Oh, yeah, but the PUD is, the way the city's handled the PUDs in the past, that's 9 months.
Okay, that's.
And when we talk about bureaucracy, that we would build half-acre lots before we do a PUD. No question about it.
Feel like you just threatened us.
Oh, no.
I'm just teasing.
It's kind of like hurt me.
Been out a long time, Paul. Okay, any other comments or
No.
thoughts?
Not for me.
Okay, wanna entertain a motion?
Well, we have one written on our little cheat sheet here, but it seems like we ought to be recommending not approval, but a positive recommendation to the city council for approval. So
Correct, so just recommend consideration of it is all you're doing, and then it goes to the planning
Okay.
commission, so it ain't, you're not.
okay.
We're not accountable for anything.
Yes, so I move that we recommend consideration of the city council. Positive recommendation of the proposed master development agreement for Mac Canyon subdivision located approximately near Mac Canyon Road and SR 38.
1:30.
138.
Okay, we have a second.
I second it.
Okay, thank you, Cameron. Any other discussion? Okay.
No.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we'll close that item. So we'll move on to agenda item 5, the presentation, discussion, and consideration of a proposed general plan amendment, changing the land use designation
You got 2 more items.
from mixed use density,
I thought it was the same, all the same.
high single family density residential, low density residential to medium density residential for the Mac Canyon subdivision located approximately near Mac Canyon Road and SR 138. Start with the staff presentation.
Maybe. Let's see if I read on both. Sorry. I may have to. Let me pull this up. Essentially, it's just solidifying what the development agreement, read is. Now we are amending the general plan, from, low density to, high density.
To the
Sorry.
medium density.
Yeah, sorry, medium density. But my Adobe died on me, so give me one second. And so here is the property here in yellow, orange, and purple. And so you're asking to, I have it highlighted on my maps, but asking to rezone this or amend the general plan to medium density.
I have a question back on still this. Is there a way to, instead of just say an automatic reversion, that it would trigger the city the opportunity to rezone, whatever however they.
Or the development agreement.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an automatic reversion, but it would be the city's, it would have to go back to the city for reconsideration of the remainder.
Re-examination.
The portion that's not complete. Is there a way we could do that better?
Yeah, I think you have to open agenda item 4 back up and just fix your motion and include that. And then we could fix that.
Okay, can we open up?
You bet. So we'll pause the discussion on agenda item 5 and we will reopen the consideration for agenda item 4, approving the master development agreement for the Mac Canyon subdivision located approximately near Mac Canyon Road and SR 138.
So I want to amend my motion to, rather than automatic reversion back to the a half-acre zoning, that would trigger reconsideration of the unimproved portion of the development to be rezoned as the city determined as feasible. Yeah.
Okay, super.
I second that.
Thank you, Cameron. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Okay, sorry about that.
thank you. Well, that's good. That's probably what Derek was gonna have happen in city council anyway, but you just saved him another.
Okay.
Okay, we will open agenda item 5 and if the staff presentation is just to change the yellow portion where Paul's development is for the Mac Canyon subdivision from low density residential to medium density.
The yellow, orange, and purple portion.
Oh. And the purple is commercial.
It's mixed
Mixed use?
mixed use zoning, so.
Okay.
So we're doing the other, we need to do this.
Yes.
So this one's first and then the rezone would come, but these would be recommendations to city council.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, maybe we'll just go straight to public comments since we've already had discussion on it. And we'll open the public hearing for agenda item 5, the general plan amendment to change land use designation from mixed use density, high single family density residential and low density residential to medium density residential for the Mac Canyon subdivision located approximately near Mac Canyon Road and SR 138. Anybody that would like to talk about density changes overlay on this development?
Okay, I'm sorry. Joe Kempy again. I don't understand what this is at all. You have one thing where you're changing it and you say you're gonna do this, and then you have this, we're saying we're gonna change it to something else. It's like you're layers upon layers of confusion. Can somebody explain it in simple terms, what's going on with this? Or can I ask those kind of questions at this point?
So they're not in a position to answer questions. They're taking comment right now. Afterwards, if we get direction, staff can help answer some of those questions. Where they can answer them after they close the public comment.
Yeah.
Noted,
What it means is that you now make the comment, so they'll answer.
No, but
this
what is this?
That means it's the same thing we just discussed on the other thing. It's just that there's.
All the same thing. You can't, there are no questions.
But thank you for bringing.
We'll tell you after the public comments.
We'll tell you after we approve it.
No, not after it's approved.
Okay,
Thank
Before
you,
they take
Joseph.
the vote, we can offer some clarity.
So I have a comment on this. So see where it says it's all purple?
Mhm.
Those are all half-acre lots right there already. So the current zoning is actually yellow or half-acre lots all the way to Highway 138. The purple and the orange is what is on the future use. But the future use is irrelevant when there's already buildings there. So there's half-acre lots already there, all the way up to Sunflower Way. And then obviously there's 5 and 10, are you on 10 acres? 10-acre lots in that orange section. So the rezone to medium density, instead of leaving it at half-acre lots, again, opens us up to he gets to have a maximum of 4 dwellings per acre instead of 2 dwellings per acre. This happened, I believe, in the little apartment complex, or are those townhomes down on 138 and Clark Street? The zoning changed.
Right here.
It's not that, it's up a little bit further. The zoning changed and there was all sorts of promises made. And then because the zoning was already changed, that's what the developer built to, was that zoning. So if we change the zoning, we lose all ability to restrict those houses to 2 per acre. So that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any comment on the density discussion? Okay, anybody online? If you're online and would like to comment on this item, please raise your hand. Okay, we will close the public comment then and invite Shelby back up and then open the conversation for commission.
Yeah, I would just have the staff explain the procedural nature of what we're doing here.
Yes.
Well, and also that what was just approved, that this plat that's been approved is what it has been approved. This is accommodating that, but it's not something different. So if this action here doesn't change the plat that was just presented and recommended.
Correct. So when it comes to planning, there are several different steps and mechanisms that could come into play, and I can understand why it would get confusing. You're not wrong. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, and I still get confused. So you're right on, and your questions are perfect. We have in the city a general plan. The general plan is aspirational and dictates what we think the property ought to look like in 20, 50, 100 years. They're not determinate as to what is on the ground right now. That's the zoning. The zoning says this is what is permissible on the property right now. So there's 2 different documents. This is what we're looking at right now, and this particular item is the general plan. Again, it's aspirational, it's a guiding document. It has no legal entitlements, it has no restrictions. It just says this is what we think ought to go here if and when the time comes for this to develop. The next item on the agenda is the actual zoning. The zoning governs the entitlements of the property and says this is what we will allow to go in on the property. When it comes to zoning, you have to think of, and forgive me for how this sounds, but the worst case scenario, because that's what you will get. If there's something about the zoning that you don't want or don't agree with or don't think is appropriate, don't vote for the zoning. That's it. The last item we just discussed was a master development agreement, which governs the development of the property. It puts in place certain requirements and strictures that allow for certain things to go through. It determines the layout of the basic layout of the property, including open space dedication, roadway dedications, trails and open space. All of those things come into play. and the number of units that the city is agreeing to allow the developer to develop is locked in at that point as well. That's important for a couple of reasons. The developer has what's called a vested right once the development agreement is approved to develop the number of units that are in the master development agreement. There may be some things on the property that push those units around, but that entitlement stays in place. And that guarantees the developer a certain ROI. Which is what everyone is interested in. It also makes sure that the city has a lever to pull if there are questions about who's doing what and when the open space goes in, when the amenities go in, all of those kinds of things. And that guarantees that the city gets ultimately what the city bargained for and agreed to. That's over and above, generally speaking, what the zoning will allow. And that's why Paul keeps saying, heck, if it doesn't work out, I've already got the zoning that will start to pencil for me anyway. So if it's not a threat, it's just that's what his entitlements are. And frankly, the city wins in this and Paul wins in this. And that's why an MDA or these kinds of negotiations are so powerful and beneficial for everybody. In summary, because I know it's a lot, this is a a future land use map amendment. This is aspirational. It has no entitlements that are associated with it. That's the next item. And that's why we have to go through this granted, very convoluted process of amending the future land use map amendment and then amending the zoning map. Hope that's clear. I hope that's clear to y'all.
Yeah. So just a follow-up question then, so because even though we're changing this from low to medium, because of the MDA's in place, he can't go throw up quarter-acre houses on the entire property now and jack up the lot count.
Which is why we did it in the sequence we did, and we'll do this again at the city council when that time comes, because the MDA approval governs the layout, the number of lots, all of those things. Then the rest of this is leveraged against that and vice versa.
Yep. Perfect.
Clear as mud.
Yeah, I hope that clarifies it for the concerns that were raised.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts?
No.
Other thoughts?
No.
Any additional thoughts?
I don't think this is controversial. This is aspirational, as we talked about, supportive.
Great. So do you want to consider a motion?
Or make a motion. I move to recommend consideration of a proposed general plan amendment to change the land use designation from mixed use density to high single family density residential and low density residential to medium density residential for the Mac Canyon subdivision located approximately near Mac Canyon Road and SR 138.
A second.
Thank you, Cameron. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That item passes unanimously. We will close agenda item 5, and we will move on to agenda item 6, presentation, discussion, and consideration of a proposed rezone of parcels 01-065-0-0074.
You don't have to read the parcels.
I don't have to read them all?
Just
Okay.
agenda item 6.
The parcels referenced in agenda item 6 from R121 to the R112 for Mac Canyon subdivision located approximately near Mac Canyon Road and SR 138. So we'll begin with the staff presentation for agenda item 6.
Perfect. So this is the rezone of the zoning map. And so as you can see to the north is a PUD, which was in the RM7. And to the west is R121, and then further is a mixed use with a PUD. To the south is half-acre lots with 1-acre lots, and then you have R18, which is 8,000 square foot lots, and then you have a PUD in the RM15 with surrounding half-acre zoning. And this would just solidify what was recommended in the development agreement as well as the general plan amendment.
Have no comments, concerns,
Thank you.
no questions for her, I guess is where we're at.
Or no questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any questions. No, thank you, Shelby. So we will open the public hearing for agenda item 6, which is the rezone of parcels outlined in the agenda from R121 to the R112. Designation for Matt Canyon subdivision, please. Thank you. For the Matt Canyon subdivision located approximately near Matt Canyon Road and SR 138. Anybody has any public comment that they'd like to enter into the record, please use the podium and state your name.
Angela and Kempy. The only comment I have is just to make sure, should the development not come to pass, that we have all the safeties in place so that we don't end up with townhouses all around us. That's my greatest concern. Make sure that we have the safeties that, like you had talked about, that you'll go in for consideration, that that's in stone so that we are not having issues later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Does anybody else like to speak on this item? Okay, if there's anybody online that would like to offer comment on agenda item number 6, the potential rezone, or sorry, proposed rezone for the Matt Canyon subdivision, please raise your hand. Okay, we will close this public hearing, seeing no further public comment. I will bring this item back to the commission for discussion and consideration.
Nothing.
Okay, sounds good. I'd like to entertain a motion.
Sorry. I move to recommend consideration of proposed rezone of parcels notated in agenda item number 6 from R121 to R112 for the Matt Canyon subdivision located approximately near Matt Canyon Road and SR 138.
Now, because of our other modification, with group plan, there's this reversion that could, okay, that only governs, this is the rezone, but because we've stated we recommend if they take care of that in the master, then it would take care of this. Right, sorry, I'll second.
Okay, great. No further discussion?
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, passes unanimously. And then we will close item number 6 and move on to agenda item number 7, presentation and discussion. The approval of the minutes from the March 17th Planning Commission regular meeting.
Nobody changes?
I've reviewed the minutes. I don't.
It's top secret
Any
developer book.
concerns?
At
Thank
least it
you
wasn't
for-
my phone, so.
Thank you for capturing the minutes so well, Nicole. Would entertain a motion?
I move to approve the minutes from the March 17th, 2026 Planning Commission regular meeting.
Second.
Okay, thank you, John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. We close agenda item 7 and open agenda item 8, a report from city staff. Bill or Shelby?
Just looking forward to the planning conference starting tomorrow.
Start tomorrow. Me too.
And we'll meet again this next Tuesday for some training with city council, is that right?
Yes.
Week from tonight, and then,
Week from tomorrow.
is it Wednesday?
City council will be a week from tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a weird one because the first was a Wednesday,
Okay.
so we got the weeks off. Usually the city council would be
To be
the next day.
Okay.
But
I have it on the 14th as well,
That's,
the master transportation.
oh, that.
is that Tuesday?
That is a work meeting. But yes, I was gonna bring that up. So on the 14th, you guys have a combined work meeting with city council at 7 PM to go over the master transportation plan and the capital facilities plan amendments.
That's Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 14th. And then Wednesday, the 15th is city council.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what so as a planning commission, we'll be meeting again on the 14th.
That's right. And then on the 30th is when we'll have an open house for the master transportation plan.
On the 30th of April.
Correct.
Okay, then we meet again on the 28th as well. No.
No,
Okay,
we'll meet on the 5th of May.
okay.
Cinco de Mayo. I usually celebrate privately.
It's Taco Tuesday too. You don't have to celebrate that.
Don't Americans celebrate Cinco de Mayo a lot more than the Mexicans?
Okay, do you have any other items? Bill or Shelby?
I'm planning a rodeo, May 22nd, 23rd.
Oh, what? Already?
Sorry, was I still in your thunder?
No, it's still in my red thunder. It's all
I
right.
heard a rumor,
Click on it.
but that's, it's the rumor is no longer a rumor then.
Correct, so, the last planning commission meeting, they passed a motion to approve the stock contractor. And so we have been, when I say we, the committee has been meeting every Monday at 7 p.m. To plan the rodeo, and we have accumulated 20,000 in sponsorship, which covers the stock contractor, and so now this can start covering other expenses.
How long has it been since we've had a rodeo?
Way too long. Since I recall, it's been 15 years, and others say 20, so.
We would hold at these grounds over here.
That sounds like it's gonna be a zoo.
No,
Well,
it's gonna
be
fun.
crowded, yeah,
Get on your walking boots.
yeah, that'll be
but
fun.
Tickets went live and tickets are limited, so.
Oh, there you go.
Buy
Okay.
some
Awesome.
tickets on Facebook.
Nice.
I think there was rodeo when we first moved in here, but it's been a little while. So what was the dates?
May 22nd and 23rd,
22nd.
starting at 7 p.m.
So
And we're taking.
first the
volunteers.
Buc-ee's and now the rodeo.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, Dollar Board, we're looking for volunteers to be on the rodeo committee, and so, and help do the cleanup. We're planning a cleanup on April 18th and May 2nd.
Rodeo is here in town, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, not a Desert
Not
Peak.
Desert Peak,
No.
here in town.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, we'll close then agenda item 8 and open agenda 9, the open forum for planning commissioners. Do you have anything you'd like to bring up?
We just really appreciated the training last week. That was, for whatever it was very helpful.
It seems like it was last week, but I guess it was 2 weeks ago, and that was very helpful.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I even brought my cheat sheet, but didn't even have a chance to use it because everything was.
So dang easy.
I'll save it for that.
Way to go.
Good.
Let's,
So what happens if, let's say I didn't show up tonight? They have to cancel this meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that would be inconvenient.
Can we make it easier on you by,
Yeah, if you're not gonna make it, please let me know.
Well, I will. I was just curious, like,
I would just, I don't know if it's too much trouble, but if you just want to send an invite via Outlook or something, and we respond, so you would know, I'd be happy to do that. I do, work hours on him. I don't know.
I like the roll call 5 minutes before, keep Shelby scared.
My favorite story that way is that we had a planning commission chair in where I was at down in Texas named Elton Forbes, and he worked for Exxon and spent a lot of time in other countries doing very high level negotiations. And we were trying to have a planning commission meeting, and we had 2 people, and I called him and I said, Elton, are you coming in? It was unlike him not to come in. And he said, it's going to be tough. I'm in Nigeria today. So I said, well, you're excused then. Yeah, interesting guy, but yeah.
That would ruffle some
we would have
feathers.
to- We would have
Man.
to cancel.
Yeah, can you
If
imagine?
we didn't have all three, or at least three, we would have to cancel it, so.
Would it
Glad
be
you guys
easier on
made
you
it.
to just do Outlook or Google, whatever it is, invites and we respond?
Yeah, we can send those invites and just send them to your, planning commission email.
Then you know if we're tentative or confirmed and you know. Yeah.
Do you need to search in like a Google Calendar invite to him?
Yeah.
Just
Just
Yeah.
our
Okay.
planning commission.
It'd be
email.
better for me too. I just click it and it's added and then I can respond and I
Perfect.
think that'd be a good way to go.
Do you want it to your planning commission email or you want it to your personal email too?
Frankly, be best personal, but, cause I don't know that the calendar ties to anything on that. So I think it'd probably only be really work if it was on personal, or personal emails.
If you want it on your personal, you can email me your personal email and then we can
Yeah, I'll do
send
it.
it up.
Just to make it easier for Nicole, I think the default is going to be, we're going to go under the assumption that you will be here unless we hear from you that you
Yeah.
won't.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
probably a good thing to
So
do.
even if you don't select yes, we're gonna say yes unless you select no.
Okay, well, either way, whatever works for you, I'm just trying to make it so you're not.
We're all adults. We can call out when we need to call out, and
Yeah.
no call, no shows are bad form on anybody's part.
So it's just understood that we will let you know if we're not gonna be here.
Perfect.
And we can join, we count as part of the quorum via Zoom, right? So
Even if you're on the road and listening in,
counts.
yeah, out of town in Nigeria.
It's not that far.
The biggest difference there was the time difference. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
2 a.m. when I called him. So,
Okay.
Can't imagine taking on a role of a chair of a board and not being able to be there most of the time.
he was there most of the time. This was a rare one that the stars lined up. Yeah.
Oh, the stories he could tell.
Yep.
Okay, I can't remember if there was something else, so.
You were gonna ask us to propose a motion to close.
Oh, well, let's close, agenda item 9 and, open agenda item 10, a report from city
Oh,
council and
we haven't.
invite, Derek to.
That wasn't on purpose, Derek, sorry.
A few things have happened since you guys last met. We did. I don't know if you guys have heard yet, but a rodeo's coming to town.
Wow,
There's a
that's
rodeo?
There's a
awesome.
rodeo.
Whose idea was
Just one
that?
right here.
I'm
Rumors
sorry.
are always been.
So we approved that last meeting. We awarded the sewer contract to Vancom Construction Company and approved the new sewer rates. That was fun, not, but we got it done. Still more things to go.
How long was that gonna take to build?
Needs to be done by like into 2028.
I would guess
2029.
18 months
Yeah.
Where is it gonna be at?
where the current
Where-
ponds
Oh,
are.
okay.
Nice.
Me and Mayor Hammond and Councilman Thomas went out to the site announcement for the nuclear campus. I don't know if you guys saw that on the news,
Yeah.
but if we get that, that could change the way Grantsville looks in years to come, so we'll see.
No more streetlights, it'll just glow.
Yeah. So, I heard, when we were out there, they said around June, 1st of June is when we should hear where it's coming, if it's our side or one of the many other places that put in, so stay tuned on that. We approved the contract for the Veterans Park. That was a local company for its concrete. So we're excited about that, to finally get that going. And then, we approved the funding for installation of some timing equipment at the Scenic Slopes Park. It's a little app that the kids can put on their phone, and it has their GPS on the track, and they can time around their track and compete with other people at the track and around them, and keeps kind of like the leaderboard. It was kind of newer. They've only got it in a few ones. Councilman Butler was able to negotiate a cheaper price.
Just for asking.
Just for asking, yeah. Since we were
Well, I
kind of
took
being
a walk the other
beta
day.
testers, so.
The kids are already enjoying the park. They're crawling through the sewer lines.
Yeah. Well, this one will have a GPS. We don't have it yet, so we can't see how fast they're crawling through those lines yet, but. I think that's it. That's for the short amount of time. I didn't know it's coming early till a couple hours ago, so. I think that's all that's happened since we've met.
Are you our assignment now, or are we still?
No, his son had a tennis match today. And up in Logan, so he wasn't gonna be able to make it.
Can I ask a couple quick questions? The work that's going on, Mormon Trail Road out south, they blocked it off. Is that new water lines or?
I think so. I think you're talking about the Niagara water line extension going up to the new tank.
Okay. And then in that subdivision there, the Arbory, where the city owns that 40 acres, you know, there's cement and all that kind of stuff. Is there plans for that to be like buried at some point, or what's that? It's kind of the old dump site out there or whatever. There's a combination of, it looks like some old gutters and stuff, and there's just a lot of,
Like in the pit,
yeah, in the pit, yeah. Is there plans for that pit at any point?
eventually it will be filled in with debris and materials and things like that.
We have a contractor coming in to grind up the material and use that again.
Who's this?
That's Michael.
This is Michael Rozier, Grantsville City Manager.
Thank you.
So like in the next year kind of thing, they'll take.
No, we're gonna have that done here in the next month or so. They'll bring out a bunch of equipment and grind it all up.
Oh, wow. Well, that's great.
They're probably supposed to build parks inside pits. That's what,
Yeah.
parks.
Right?
Well, good.
Thank you,
So,
Michael.
okay, so the pit is separate from the park.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. I just went on the pit, what they're eventually gonna do there.
Nice to have you with us, Michael.
You been here all night?
Absolutely.
He gets bored. Keep an eye on staff.
Oh my goodness.
Well, thanks for city
Yeah, next
council.
time warn us before you speak though, so we don't think it's the end. It was like the voice of God from on high. Is that you?
It is The Simpsons. Oh, Molly.
That's all I've got.
Thank you,
guys.
Derek. Appreciate what to do. We will close the agenda item 10, report from city council, and agenda item 11 is adjournment. I can consider a motion.
Move, you adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
You know that.
Thanks, guys.